Good evening, and welcome to the 2013 Dover Adult Learning Center of Stratford County High School graduation. Just a couple of quick announcements before we start. Please make note of the nearest emergency exit, and also make note that there's no smoking allowed on the grounds of the school at any time. And then lastly, if you have young ones who might be getting a little antsy, we've got some boxes of crayons and coloring pages out there for you if you'd like to take them out onto the mezzanine. So tonight we're here to honor and celebrate 235 individuals who have completed their high school education with us. About 80 of them are sitting right in front of you. We share their pride and their joy, and as a community, we applaud, and already have applauded many times, their accomplishments. Graduates, you did it. You completed your high school education. This is one of life's most significant milestones. And tonight, you have your family and your friends, the members of your circle who have supported you and who encouraged you, and maybe they gave you a little push when you needed it, and your teachers and the staff at DALC who welcomed you into their classrooms and into their hearts. We've all witnessed your hard work, and we've seen you through your successes and your struggles both. Also here tonight To celebrate your achievement are the DALC Board of Directors. We have counselors and principals and superintendents and program coordinators from Dover and all of the school districts in Stratford County. We have elected officials and community leaders from both the county and the town and the state. We have a lot of people in this room who are here to celebrate with you, and every single one of them has played a really important role in bringing you to this moment. So we welcome you and we thank you all for your role. In just a moment, Superintendent Jean Briggs Badger is going to offer her congratulations to you. And then she's got to scoot out to the 8th grade award ceremony just next door, which is starting in just a few minutes. So before she goes, I just want to take a moment to recognize her for her extraordinary service to this school district and this community. After 24 years in the district, the superintendent is retiring at the end of this month. And I want to just say thank you to her for her support for adult education and her service. Mrs. Briggs Badger is well known for her support of education at all levels, from pre-K to A, and that stands for adult. And what most folks don't know is that she actually, early in her career, served as the Adult Learner Services Coordinator in the North Country, Coos County. And so she has a very long and deep and special connection to adult education. And so I'd like to ask her to come up, and these are for you, Jean. Thank you so much. And we wish her a very long and happy retirement.
Deanna, thank you very much, and thank you all for the recognition. Welcome to this joyous occasion, and congratulations to all of our graduates. You stand on the threshold of a new chapter in your life, kind of like myself. You've persevered and made it to the finish line. You know, there's a basic wisdom in the old-fashioned virtues of perseverance, courage, and hard work. And there's a poem that has always been near and dear to my heart, and I see my friend Maria sitting there, and it's a poem, Maria, so you'll be pleased to know that. But this poem I heard many, many years ago, and I'd like you to bear with me and listen. I was going to read it to the high schoolers and decided that they weren't mature enough to really grasp it, so I saved it for you. And this poem was written over 100 years ago, and it resonates today. It was written in 1895 by British Nobel laureate poet Rudyard Kipling, and the poem is entitled, If. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you've given your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and loss, and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, And which is more, you'll be a man, my son. And I always add at the end of this poem, you'll be a woman too, but this was written 100 years ago. So good luck to each of you in your future endeavors. Stay true to yourself, and you will always succeed. Congratulations.
Thank you, Superintendent. Now it's my pleasure to invite Dover Mayor Dean Trefethen to say a few words to our graduates.
Good evening, Superintendent Briggs-Badger, as you're out the door, and Director Strand, school board members, parents, relatives, and friends, and of course, the most important people tonight, graduates. Congratulations. It is my pleasure as mayor to bring you greetings from the city of Dover. I have a confession to make, just between us, okay? Nobody else? I hated high school, and I didn't do particularly well. If something like DALC had existed in my time, I probably would have ended up there. But there wasn't anything like DALC, so I stuck it out. I particularly hated speech class. The thought of getting up in front of a group of people and speaking to them caused absolute fear and anxiety. I'm talking deer in the headlights. But here I am right now, up in front of all you, and just know that I'm visualizing all of you in your underwear, okay? I mentioned hating high school and speech class for a reason, and it's to highlight how there are alternatives now. The fact that you graduates are here tonight is living testimony to that. And also to highlight that you can overcome obstacles in your life. Everyone has obstacles, and they need to overcome them or get around them. Some are more severe than others, and they're different for different people. One set of solutions does not fit all, but they can be overcome. And everyone follows their own path. My path was different than yours. Yours is different than your parents, or maybe your brother or sisters. I got out of high school, I went to a 9-month broadcasting school, the owner of which is in the audience tonight, and then worked in a career in broadcasting for 10 years. And then I went to college at the ripe old age of 28 and did very well, and proceeded to have another career now going on 29 years. Oh, I also became a city councilor and now the mayor. Just think what you can accomplish. There may be similarities on the paths that you have all taken to reach the point you are at tonight, but there are probably many unique paths as well. The important thing is that you're here tonight, and you've successfully completed the requirements and passed all the tests, and now you're ready for the next step to proceed down the path, your path. Good luck on your next step. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. New Hampshire Representative Jim Verschuren, who happens to be the former executive director of Dover Adult Learning Center, really wanted to be here tonight, but he was drawn away by a meeting of the Dover Democrats, which I think is where all of our Dover representatives are tonight. So he sent some words of congratulations and asked me to read them to you as well. To the graduating class of 2013, how I wish I could be with you tonight. As the former executive director of Dover Adult Learning Center, I found inspiration every year at this event. I recall so many graduations and student speeches. The Cambodian woman who escaped the Khmer Rouge through the rice fields to a refugee camp in Thailand and then made her way to New Hampshire and earned her GED. The middle-aged man who quit high school late in his senior year because he thought a diploma was just a piece of paper. The human resources director of a major company who got her GED years earlier when she was a single mother working as a chambermaid. Each of you has a similar story to tell. You have known adversity, you have pushed ahead, often against very heavy odds. You have made mistakes, as we all have. You have made good decisions. You are here tonight to celebrate and be recognized for your achievement. Congratulations. I send my admiration for you and my best wishes for your continued success in whatever you choose to pursue. So there's a tradition at DALC graduations of recognizing a previous year's graduate. This person must have distinguished him or herself through higher education, professional work, or community service. This year, I'm very pleased and very honored to recognize a graduate who has remarkably demonstrated skills in all three of these areas. I'm going to ask Ann Schultz, the president of the board of directors, to come forward to present the commendation to Beata Umwangwali, who will also come forward and then share a few words with you.
This is a great pleasure to give this honor to one of our graduates. It's from the commendation from the Board of Directors of the Dover Learning Center of Stratford County. Closer, closer, okay. And if you stand over there, I can speak to you. Okay. Whereas Beata Umwangwali left Rwanda in 1994 to escape genocide and came to the United States as a widow and a refugee in 1995. Whereas Beata raised 3 children on her own in Dover, who have all now graduated from college. Beata raised 3 children on her own well, I just read that. Whereas Beata took English classes at Dover Adult Learning Center from 1995 to 97 and completed her GED in French in 1997 and worked with a tutor every step of the way on her educational journey. Beata has diligently worked to regain her credentials and return to her nursing career as a gastroenterology nurse at Wentworth Douglas Hospital. Whereas Beata earned the nonprofit Friends of Butare to rebuild the devastated school of her childhood in Rwanda and continues to repair, supply, and equip that school. And whereas Beata was awarded the Wentworth Douglas Hospital President's Award in 2008 and received the St. Thomas Aquinas High School Lux Award in 2011 and was recognized in 2012 and 13 by the New Hampshire Future Nursing Scholar. So many awards and so much honor. Whereas Beata exemplifies the values of giving to others and lifelong learning. Therefore, we honor the achievements of Beata Umwangwali and recognize her as the 2013 Distinguished DALC Graduate. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And this is for you. So nice to meet you.
Okay, nice to meet you too. Okay. So, my name is Beata Umwangwali. I was born in Rwanda. I'm a widow and mother of 3 children. My husband was killed during the war in 1994. I came with 3 children, my brother, my sister, and niece as a political refugee in 1995, with support from Catholic Charities and St. Thomas More Church in Durham. My children have now graduated from college. I speak Kinyarwanda, French, Swahili, and English is my 4th language. The first step as a refugee was to improve my English. I had studied English in high school and college, but I never spoke it. My first year as a refugee was spent in Kenya, and there I had to begin to speak English. Back in Rwanda, I was a nurse. I had a bachelor's degree in public health. My continuing education on a graduate level was interrupted by the war. When I came to the US, my credentials were not recognized, so I was forced to start over. All my courses back home were in French, so studying in English was a new challenge. I know English was a big challenge for many of you too. The circumstances reminded me, my dad, who used to tell us that the best way to overcome poverty is through education. I grew up hearing the same advice over and over. Because of his experience, he wanted us to have a better life. He was born in a rural area, and his parents didn't go to school. But his dad wanted him to get education. Finally, he was able to go to school, and he eventually became a physician, OBGYN. The lesson here is not to be discouraged. You can overcome obstacles. In the US, my first job was housekeeper at the Sheraton Hotel, and I stayed there only 3 months. This was not a good experience for me because it was humiliating work. It motivated me to go back to school to do the same thing related to nursing. Then Catholic Charity Services helped me to be trained to become a certified nurse aide. Understanding the importance of education, I decided to go back to school. Besides my dad's advice, there was no way I could raise 3 kids with $8 an hour. I started at Dover Adult Training Center, and I was placed in intermediate English, then advanced a few months later. I then took the GED and graduated in 1997. At Stratham Community College, I took nursing prerequisites. I also took 6 more English courses, and I had a tutor from Dover Adult Training Center. Later, I went to Northern Essex Community College for nursing courses. I graduated with an associate degree in nursing in 2001, and I was working at Dover Rehabilitation and Living Center. During that time, I always went back to Dover Adult Training Center to improve my English skills. In 2002, I was hired at Wentworth Douglas Hospital. I'm now a nurse certified in gastroenterology, working in endoscopy department. In 2008, I was honored with Wentworth Douglas Hospital's President Award for my contribution to the hospital and to others. In 2008, I decided to go back to school for my bachelor's degree in science of nursing. Again, I went back to Dover Adult Training Center for computer skills and tutoring. I graduated in 2011. Now, I'm finishing my master's degree in science of nursing. Dover Adult Training Center opened doors to new horizons and led me on the path to success in the US. It's never too late to go back to school. Don't be discouraged. Don't stop your education right now, even if you have a long way to go. When you study, remember, never give up. Education is the key to success. It will lead you to more opportunities in your life. In the word of a great Black revolutionary leader, Malcolm X, education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. I know that the future is yours. I'm grateful to everyone who helped me to reach my goal. Thank you, and God bless you all.
I hope that each of you will be inspired by Beata's words and her experiences. Even as you, excuse me, I can't, can't read with my glasses. Even as you bask in the satisfaction of completing high school, remember that this is just the beginning, as it was for Beata, that there's so much more to come and so much for you to do and achieve now that you have your passport to the future. Now we're going to hear some of your stories. We have a tradition also of an essay contest, and our graduates, many of our graduates have submitted essays, and 3 of them have been selected as the winners of this year's contest. And Pam Shaw, the center's lead counselor, is going to announce the winners who don't yet know that they're the winners.
Congratulations, graduates. I heard from a few judges this year that it was a really difficult decision because they received so many wonderful essays. So you all should get a congratulations for writing one. First, I will present the 3rd place winner is Brandy Bilodeau. So and Brandy will come up and read her essay for us.
You can do it. I'm not doing it. This is your one chance. No, I'm
Okay.
not doing it.
Since I convinced Brandy to write her essay, I'll read it for her. You ask what I have learned about myself through my adult education experience. Well, there's a lot I have learned. The most important thing that I have learned is that I can do anything I want to do. I just have to put my mind to it. A year ago today, I was saying that I couldn't do it and I had waited too long to go back and do something with myself. How could it even be possible being a single mom of a 5-year-old? It was going to be too hard having to work to support my little family and going to school 2 nights a week. When I started at the Adult Learning Center in September of 2012, I thought it was going to take me all year and that I wasn't going to ever finish. With all the support from my family and the staff here at the Learning Center, I have realized that I can do anything I want to, no matter what it is. There is never a wall too high. Yes, it may be a struggle, but some way, somehow, I will manage to get it done. As time went on, I was giving my all, never giving up, flying through my tests with decent test scores. When the time finally came and I was going to the McConnell Center to take my last test, I was not feeling too good about it and I didn't think I was ready for it. December 5th, 2012, was a very happy day for me. I had made it through one of the things I have always wanted to do, and that's why I'm standing here today. I had successfully passed all 5 tests. I didn't do this just for me, but for my son. I wanted to show him, that even when things got hard, I gave it my all and never gave up on trying to make a better life for the 2 of us. I accomplished my goal to be done my GED and enrolled in college January 2013. I have realized that everything in my life has happened for one reason or another, and I'm very proud to say that I am currently enrolled at Seacoast Career School, going for my dream of working in the medical field. I started on March 22nd, 2013, and yes, at times it gets very challenging. I'm working full-time, attending school full-time, and being a full-time mom. I don't always feel like I have enough time to get the proper amount of studying done. My son also deserves and needs my attention. Being pulled in different directions is a struggle, but I have learned that I am capable of achieving both my short-term and long-term goals. I have gained confidence in my abilities, both academic and personal. Every day, I'm one step closer to achieving my goals.
Our 2nd place winner, who will come up and read her essay, is Jasmine Jones.
right into the mic, okay? Almost like you're going to eat it. Okay.
Like several other people I've known, whenever I heard the term GED in the past, I always assumed that the person it was associated with was either lethargic or unmotivated, to say the least. Then I found myself 18, on my own with no diploma and not actively enrolled in any type of school, not exactly the best situation to be in. So reluctantly, I began to look into getting my GED. At first, I was too embarrassed to talk to anyone outside my closest of friends about it. As I started talking to others working towards the same goal, however, I came to realize that people were choosing this path for many different reasons, and I started to realize that it was nothing to be ashamed of. Personally, I wasn't allowed to finish high school while I lived at home due to circumstances that were out of my control. Much like, I'm sure, many others here with me, though I was only part of this program for a short period of time, my perception of this whole process has changed completely. For some reason, unbeknownst even to me, I assumed that the instructors would all be grumpy old teachers who seemed like they had better things to do than to babysit my lowly self throughout this process. How pleasantly surprised I was when I walked into Donna and Pam's smiling faces. They were both so encouraging, full of advice, and genuinely interested in my advancement. Now the part where I tell you what I've learned. I used to be very confident in my academic life, having my capabilities constantly degraded by the people who were supposed to be doing the most uplifting. For upwards of 2 years, however, had its effect. Long story short, part of me was scared that I wasn't actually going to be smart enough to receive my GED. I cannot stress enough how thankful I am to not only Pam and Donna, but those in my life who were there to cheer me on whenever I began to doubt myself. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that I remembered how to believe in myself, as cliche as that may sound. I now have the confidence to continue on to higher education. I truly believe that with my renewed confidence, courage, and skills, I will be able to surpass any challenges that may present themselves in my pursuit of higher education. In conclusion, I strongly encourage anyone even considering going back to school or getting their GED to at least look into it. I feel so much better, not only about myself, but also about my future that I now have. I thank you all for allowing me to share my little essay with you and hope that you glean something that may have an impact on you or your life.
Our first place winner tonight, his name is Stephen Darling, and unfortunately he can't be here tonight, but his teacher, Muriel, is going to come up and read his essay for him.
What I've learned. While sitting in solitary confinement in Rockingham County on my first day in jail, I knew something had to change, but how? What's the first step? The date was December 19th, 2012. I was a heroin addict, charged with robbery. How would I ever recover from what I've done to my life? The answer was by baby steps. I had to start somewhere. I had to start small. I enrolled in Rockingham County's few programs, life skills, drug counseling, and GED. After 2 months of hounding the instructor in Rockingham County, I was accepted to the GED program. I was nervous. I had never accomplished anything in my life other than fatherhood. I attended the classes for 2 months. My pre-test scores were above average. I was surprised by my own commitment. My future life with my family depended on this first step of committing to GED. I studied day after day. By March 6th, 2013, I was ready to test in all subjects. At 9 a.m., I would take the tests, or so I thought. That morning at 7 a.m., I was told by the correctional officer to pack up. I was being transported to Stratford County on an old charge from 2010. I was devastated. All my hard work was in vain. Upon entry into Stratford County's therapeutic community program, I was able to take the GED tests. Today, June 10th, 2013, I obtained my GED. I learned that I can break free from my past. I can achieve anything I put my mind to. Funny? I've never heard that. I've heard that my whole life, but never believed in myself or in anyone. Not only have I learned to have faith in myself, but I have also learned to trust in people. I always thought people had ulterior motives. The people who donated their precious time showed there are no words that can express how grateful I am. I might have missed something here. Hold on. Showed me there are good people in the world. To me, these people are angels in the flesh, doing God's work here on earth, helping convicts get their GED. As a 26-year-old convicted felon, even from the inside of jail's cold walls, I see the world for what it truly is, beautiful. Although I'm still incarcerated, my life is getting better day by day. My mind is alive and free. My life and relationships were destroyed by drugs. I've learned that I can rebuild, I can recover, I can be a good father. By taking baby steps one day at a time, my life will get better. I've learned to trust myself, trust people, and most of all, trust God. I believe I was put in jail for a greater good. With some of God's grace and some help from His angels, I can also pass on what I've learned in my journey, in my adult education experience. Life is beautiful. Life is challenging, but most of all, worth living. There are no words that can explain how grateful I am to have this gift of opportunity. It's been more than obtaining the GED. It's been a lesson in life. I can only repay it by also donating my time to those who need it most. Pay it forward, as we say in recovery. Thanks be to all who have made this possible for me and my family. I have a new lease on life and a better shot at success. God bless. Stephen Darling, grateful, recovering father.
Dover Adult Learning Center is very fortunate in so many ways, but we have a wonderful relationship with the Rotary Club of Dover. They provide scholarships that have enabled many of our students to take GED tests that they couldn't otherwise afford, or pay tuition for high school classes. And they also help us out at graduation time with scholarships to students who are going on to higher education. And tonight we have 2 scholarships from the Rotary Club to present to 2 deserving students. Each of them is $750. And okay. Our first $750 scholarship goes to a woman who has dreamed of working in the healthcare field. While balancing work, Studying for her GED and raising her son as a single parent, she has learned the skills and confidence needed to succeed in college. She is currently enjoying and excelling in a medical assistant program and plans to pursue becoming an RN. The winner is Brandy Bilodeau. There are several more scholarships we have to present, and Pam is going to come forward to do those.
I have the honor of presenting the Helen Phipps Debbie Tasker Scholarship. Helen Phipps was the founder of Dover Adult Learning Center, and Debbie Tasker was a longtime director, and they both had a great passion for the adult learner. The recipient of this year's scholarship is a student who moved here from Ecuador and has worked diligently to improve her English and complete her GED. With a strong desire to attend college, she also participated in our Pathways writing class to help prepare her for college-level work. Her personal goal is to own her own company and offer many job opportunities to people who need it. She plans to enroll at Great Bay Community College and pursue business administration. I am pleased to award this scholarship to Fanny Obando. Our next scholarship is the Betsy Hackett Memorial Scholarship. Betsy Hackett taught at the center for many years and was especially fond of working with women in transition. The recipient of this year's scholarship is a woman in transition in her life. After building confidence in our evening GED prep class and completing her GED, she has decided that she would like to continue her education to set a good example for her children and to find a meaningful career. She plans to enroll in a computer course in the fall. I am pleased to award this scholarship to Kelly Dossett. Our next scholarship is the Donna McAdams Scholarship, and she is here to present hers. And as many of you may know, she was a longtime counselor at the Learning Center and helped probably thousands of students attain their GED or high school diploma.
There are many, many blessings about being a longtime educator. And some of them are having students like Beata over the years, who went from GED to her associates to her bachelor's and now her master's. And another blessing is someone like Perry, who's out there sitting, and she has worked on her GED, really never having gone to school too much before she came to do that, and after many years as a graduate tonight. Another really nice thing about being here a long time is seeing young people mature and grow towards success. The recipient tonight of the scholarship that was established by the staff here in my name was a very challenging teen when I first knew her. And now she has gone through many life transitions. She's the mother of 6, and she's going into the medical field, and I would like Chantel Tibbetts to come up here.
This is me. Thank you. You're welcome.
This is what Chantel writes. If I win the money, it will go towards a medical dispatch education. This scholarship will help me accomplish my educational goals by helping me pay for school for a better life for myself and my family. It has always been my dream to help those in need, and if I can get an education to help others, I would feel complete. And so we wish you good luck.
Thank you.
The Minette and Dweezy Scholarship was established in 2011, immediately following the graduation ceremony that year. Tom Lavasser of Beacon Retirement, whose son Brent had just graduated with a Dover Adult Diploma, was so moved by the experience of his son's success with Minette that he was inspired to create this $500 annual scholarship in her name to honor her work with Brent and countless others. Tom believes that the keys to success lie in showing up on time, doing what you say you'll do, finishing what you start, and being grateful for what you have. He observed that Minette not only exemplifies these characteristics, she instills them in her students. He described her as tenacious, never quitting on her students. A master motivator, she knows how to get the best out of her students. This year's recipient is a GED graduate who has learned to set goals and accomplish them no matter how many obstacles get in the way. She wants to fulfill her lifelong goal of becoming a zoologist, working with land and aquatic animals. She plans to attend Great Bay Community College in the fall. I am pleased to award this scholarship to Tegan Barr, who worked with Minette this year to complete her GED.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time to present the high school diplomas. I'm going to ask Dr. Paul Butler is standing in for Rocky DeAndrea, who had to go to the 8th grade awards ceremony, and he'll be joining Bev O'Brien, our adult high school counselor, in distributing the adult high school diplomas. Graduates will rise and enter the stage from here and come across the stage to receive your diploma. Zachary Taylor Boto.
Step forward a little bit. Come right here, and he'll come across, and you can hand it to him. Okay?
Kenneth Wayne Camille III.
Congratulations.
Joseph Chavez.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Butler will give you a diploma. You can walk right across.
Congratulations.
Tyler Coleman. Paige Estes. Isla Griffin. Christiana Katrina Hall.
Congratulations.
Nathan Philip Nardello. Kendra Patterson. Antonio Roberto Tejada.
That's it. Thank you.
Our next and largest group of graduates, let me give Antonio time to get off the stage. Our next and largest group of graduates is our GED graduates. These graduates have, let's give all the adult high school graduates a hand before we move right on. Okay, your time is coming, GED grads. So these folks have passed the GED test, the General Education Development Exam, and this is no cakewalk. The GED exam is challenging. It's a high-stakes exam. It's actually 5 exams and can take almost 8 hours to complete. And when graduating high school seniors are given this exam, 40% of them don't pass. So this is no mean feat. So you should all be very proud of your accomplishment. This is a particularly important year in the history of the GED because at the end of this year, the current version of the test is expiring, and along with that test expiring, all current scores will also expire. So it's really important that anyone who started taking the GED exam finishes by the end of this year, or they will lose the scores that they currently have. So if any of you out there are in that process or know people in that process, it's really important to get in and finish up before the end of the year. There will be a new test come the new year, but you would have to start over. So spread the word. Okay, grads, I'm going to ask you to come forward to this side of the stage and hand me your card.
And Ann and Tracy over here. And you can just grab a stack and hand them out. These are and you can
Brianna Sullivan. Brianna Campbell. Kelsey Lemon. Hannah Chick. Maggie Kramer. Dawn Shepard with a left hand. Perry Allen. Elijah Canning. Ryan Roy.
For you, Mom!
Jeffrey Hapgood. Amanda Foster. Marjorie Harwood. Kelly Post. Cindy LaFontaine. Cheryl Malidi. Paul Kucher. Fanny Obando. Kelly Dawson. Giovanni Santiago. Tina Wiggins. Ashley Nichols. Ronald Nichols. John Titus. Stephanie Godram. Haley Fisher. George White. Stephen Varney. Chase Jaborik. Michael P. White. Joshua Ken. Travis Sangwe. Kristen Garland. Bethany Jacobson. Nicole McLeod. Gina DeJesus. Brandy Nikita Dimmadome. Craig Asbury. Connor McGlone. Keegan Barr. Kevin Kenny Jr. Alex McKinnon. Kelly Black. Kyle Fun. Tabitha Davis. Lee Roberty. Neil Moses. Jimmy Elizondo. Christine Matthews. Catherine Faulkner. Brandon Jones. Timothy Golden. Elizabeth Catherine Carroll. Christopher George Brannon. Brandy McDonald. Chantal Shibbitt. Taylor Bennett. Dakota McAllen. Eric Malasky. Michael Burke. Caitlin O'Malley. Okay, graduates, please stand. This may be the end of your high school education, but it's the beginning of so much more. Now that you have your high school diploma or your GED certificate, doors have opened to you that were not previously available. You can go to college, you can go into training programs, you can go into careers that previously were not accessible. I hope that you will have extremely successful lives and careers, and I hope you'll come back and tell us what you're doing, and if you need help at any point along the way, we're here to help you. Don't ever forget about us, and keep up all the great work. Now, there's one more thing we have to do. I want you to grab your tassel from the left-hand side and move it over to the right. You are now high school graduates.